let's roll it up. Now I'm smoking, bruh. Hustling on that SD until my lungs are broken.
What is up, all my aquatic friends in the ocean? Today we have the Shot versus Anthony debate, and we're going to be talking about Shot's blacklist and what he called out Anthony for in the MSPL Discord, which striked up a bit of controversy. So let's hear Shot's side of the story first. Shot, if you want to describe what happened with your blacklist.
Well, to start out, talk about the blacklist in general, we have to really talk about what's happening in terms of the previous blacklists to understand what's actually going on. So, my first blacklist was for 2 weeks in the MSCL for alting on a team that wasn't even in the league yet. So if you look at the MSCL rules at the time, that I wasn't breaking any rules. The team was applied, but it was an obvious joke. It was just a team of a bunch of players that had literally under 10 wins each that was being applied to the league and was to make fun of OG5 and Display. But
Well,
that
was
was
the blacklist, making fun
yeah.
of OG5, best team.
Yeah. Sorry about my mic. It's probably really trash, but there's that. Then my second blacklist was 6 months, I believe, which was the X-ray pack blacklist, which was in a screen share with Matt. I was found to have a pack that was a deleted X-ray pack that was called X-ray pack. I think it was like :D or something like that. And it was recovered later and wasn't found to be an X-ray pack at all. But at the time for my problem with that blacklist was that at the time that the rulebook at the time stated that the obstruction of screen share rules were that you couldn't prevent your screen share from seeing things that were in your computer, not having anything to do with wasting their time on like joke things like, hey, this is an X-ray pack or things like that, which were added a week later in the newer rulebook.
So you were never actually caught with the real X-ray pack?
No, I've never actually been caught cheating.
Can I comment on that?
Yeah, Go ahead.
Sure. So I remember this was at the time that this 6-month blacklist happened. This was literally right. By the way, you were blacklisted from MSDL beforehand, and when I made the DPL, this is back in I think October of last year, 2016. And you weren't blacklisted there, by the way, in the DPL.
I was actually once.
I think you were, but it wasn't permanent or anything.
Yeah, toxicity 2 weeks.
Also, I think you were also alting, but we looked past that because there wasn't any hard proof. But anyways, so after the merge happened, which I think it began the talks in early January, and then the officially, I think it happened early February. Correct me if I'm wrong, but after that merge happened, literally I think within 1 or 2 weeks, this whole I wake up to 80 p.m. saying blah blah blah, Shot was cheating and stuff like that, and then so I was okay, let me go check this out. So I go to, I forget whoever screen shared. It was either Fod or Matt, like you said.
Matt.
Or something like that, yeah. And they found, when they were going through some specific screen share thing, I'm not really familiar on the process, but they found that you had deleted a pack that was called X-Ray. Now, at the time, there wasn't a rule against having troll packs called X-Ray or stuff like that. So that's not why you were blacklisted. By the way, I wasn't even the one that blacklisted you. Fod did. And then I woke up, and then I asked him about it, and I was okay, I understand your opinions. I understand your side, and I support it. So like I said, I wasn't the one that blacklisted in the first place. Fod wanted to do it for 2 months or something, then he extended it to 6 months. And then, so yeah, anyways, as I was saying, I was looking at what happened, and I kind of agree with it. If you have a joke pack called an X-ray pack, just as a joke, which wasn't against the rules at the time, and if it wasn't an X-ray pack, why would you delete it right before a screen share?
Wait, so
you know what I'm saying?
Was the X-ray pack the joke pack that was deleted? It wasn't.
So he said. So I'm not calling him a liar or anything, but he claims it was a joke pack. But at the same time, just common sense says if it was a joke pack, then why delete it right before a screen share? So because of that, Furlow and Matt, they thought of a potential way to be able to recover the pack, but it wasn't something that was ever done before. And I didn't really exactly trust that process, so I was okay, try it, see what happens. And we didn't get results back from that for I think a solid 10 days. So yeah, after that 10 days, it wasn't anything clear, anything like Matt definitively said, I recovered the pack, it was clean. It kind of just died off after that. No one really followed up. And so yeah, the whole point of that blacklist, I've fought blacklists before, not me shot. Remember, at the time I just got director, my focus was on the DPL mod and the website. Sorry, the MSCL website update and MSCL mod, those two things. I wasn't really concerned about the other stuff like rulebook things.
So then we
Yeah.
have the blacklist for Shot where he was alting on, I forget what the account was called. It was like Shoxy or something.
Oh, I have nothing to say about that. I was alting.
Alright, so that's where he gets permanently blacklisted for alting. He was in the wrong there. So then we go to now the MSPL, which not branched off, but like just took over the MS community. And Shot his permanent blacklist moved over to there, but Matt wasn't. Even he was using an injection client, right?
So, by the way, let me just say this really quick. When Shot was blacklisted the first time for that joke X-ray pack, he appealed. I accepted that appeal, and I've reduced his blacklist down to 1 month. But because of his like attitude and toxicity again, all the staff and me agreed that we should just extend it back to what it was originally. So his appeal was accepted, but his attitude about it and like just the sheer disrespect, that's why it was made back to 6 months like it was originally. And the whole alt thing was just alting. But going to the MSPL, so we carried over every single blacklist. I think every single permanent blacklist for the most part for obvious reasons. I'm the one that actually blacklisted Matt permanently myself because he was caught with injection cheats. And the reason I was more harsh with injection cheats versus like someone using a rape pack, which I would have given 2 months to, is because if someone can make injection cheats, something like that works on top of the mod, then sure, we might catch them once, but next time they'll just make a better version that we can't catch. That's why I was so harsh with it. So when Matt came over, he was, I was really harsh with him at first. I was like, okay, you're a cheater. I don't want to work with you, stuff like that. But then he kind of, we were mean to each other in PMs and stuff like that. And then, but eventually he kind of kept like apologizing, and he was really trying to like show remorse for his actions about cheating and other stuff that he did, like doxing people or something like that, and being toxic and stuff. So we gave him a second chance because at the same time he was also making the website. So he was doing something productive for the community, and that's the best way to show remorse. So that's why he was given a second chance. His attitude and the fact that he was contributing.
So you probably don't know much about this, but I PM'd a deal, let's see how long ago, because I can't remember much about it, but I remember I PM'd a deal talking about like, hey, like I got my computer back. I'm gonna start like recording everything now. If I like hopefully recording software is good again. Like I can record everything. It's gonna be great. So, and it has been. So I've been trying to record everything, and his comment was that my situation couldn't compare to Matt at all because like of the different things that would happen and different things that he'd done. And my like opinion on the situation was that like, hey, the only thing that's different between me and him right now is that he can code and he's actually cheated before, whereas I haven't.
Okay,
but like
so
I understand.
I get what you're saying. By the way, this is all under the assumption that you never cheated before, which I think everyone has cheated at some point. Even I have in MPSs, for example, I've 1v1ing people as a joke at least, but everyone has at some point. No
Wait, but when did you cheat?
Oh, nothing. Just me and Bunny. Me and Bunny were 1v1ing each other, and the bet, we essentially had a bet if I could beat him or not. And
that was the exposed game sense pack, right?
Was this
was
this when you joined? Wait, did you get blacklisted for that?
No, this was when I was permanently blacklisted, when I was caught in Dom back in early 2016. And me and Bunny, it's just simple 1v1. We were in MPS. I'm really good at 1v1. So what I did was one time I was 1v1ing Bunny, and I was using a raid pack. All SP was in the call. It was a good time. And then what turns out happening, I was just so bad with her raid pack because I couldn't tell when the player was actually like shootable, like visible or not. And what ended up happening was I was down like 7-1 with the raid pack. I turned it off, and then I come back and beat him eventually. But yeah, so this was a long time ago. Anyways, I'm just saying that Shot, especially someone in your situation, it's just really unbelievable to say that you've never cheated before when even I have. And I'm like, not like in comp or casuals or something like that, but just because it's just something to do.
That's what
like,
I'm talking
at
about.
Some point. So and you of all people, you're claiming you've never done it once ever in any game. So that's why that's a little unbelievable.
I'd
I mean,
say
that's
that.
kind of what you're
In
saying.
shot, you did admit to alting for that
I
one
admit, I admitted
blacklist,
to
but
alting for the
And when I'm
longest
talking
time.
about
I've
cheating, by
admitted
the way,
though.
yeah, I know
When I'm
you've been
talking about
admitting
cheating,
it.
by the
But
way,
right now, I was looking through the MSPL rules. I don't see anything really on there. Is there rules about alting on there?
The rules for alting really just is determined by the administration now.
at the time, there's a specific rule. You could only be on one competitive roster at the same time. So
Yeah, and
you're
that
just on
was.
2 rosters on 2 different accounts.
But I'm back to like you saying that I've never admitted to cheating, and I have cheated before, and I'm open about that. Always said that I've cheated before. Like I cheated in October,
But
like
you
the first
literally
week of
just said that you
October.
never did. You literally just said that you've never cheated before.
I've never cheated in a casual or competitive game before. I've
But
never
you
cheated
said
in
you.
casual competitive.
I think in RPM somewhere you said that you used to cheat, like through it for like a period of time in casuals. Maybe not comp, but in casuals.
don't-
Like
No, I've never cheated in a casual before.
okay, whatever you say. But the problem for us was that okay, so you said I'm gonna record. So by the way, this at early 2016, after I was caught cheating, my reputation was kind of shit, and people thought I cheated. And mine, not Dom. I'm talking about MineStrike. So what I did was I started recording pretty much everything, and then that alongside a lot of other stuff I did, it gained people's respect back for me, and I was able to kind of clear myself of that kind of stuff by recording. So I think the same should apply to anyone else. But in your situation, the problem was, for example, let me give you an example of a scrim SCP played versus Faded, something like a month and a half ago. Beginning of the game, everybody's getting ready to start. Then Faded say, "Oh, we don't have a fifth. Can shot play?" And we're like, "No, we don't want him to play." And then you said that you'd record, meaning that you can't obviously cheat on recording, hopefully. And then we're like, "Okay, if he records, fine." So after the first half, according to the stats, you bombed. You were like 2-11, and then the second half, you do like 26 kills in that one half. Sorry, not 20, like 16 kills in that one half. You went like 16-2 versus SCP of all
13
teams.
and 16.
And then when we ask you for the recording afterwards, you say that, "Oh, I deleted it." And then you just kept changing your story. You're like, "Oh, I deleted it," and then you're like, "Oh, I ran out of space. Oh, it was
Okay,
on my
so
phone. Oh, my
let me
phone ran out of-"
explain what happened with that.
No, I don't really want an explanation for that. That's just an example about how you use something like recording, like you use that that way to prove you're clean, but you're weird about it. You're like taking advantage of people trusting that you'll do that. So that's just an example of why like you recording wasn't really viable, because you literally just wouldn't have the recordings most of the time we'd ask you to record. And this went on even when you were in Evo, like way earlier this year. So, and then on top of that, there's also, so I don't know if you know about this, Starfish, or if many other people know about this, but it is possible to record on recording. I don't know if you've ever heard of aimbot isn't really a thing in MS because there's bullet travel time, and there's no real like solid aimbot that can be perfect about that can make all your bullets hit where people are going to be. It's really hard to do. That's why it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
But there's something called aim lock, where you hit a key, Starfish, and there's 2 different ways to do it. Either it snaps to someone's head, so you can, I don't know, fire your op or something, or it snaps to people's like bodies or heads through walls, so you can get information of where they are. And then
Wait. So is this? I remember this like back 6 months ago. Is this still a thing?
So, no, it's definitely possible, especially without the mod. But even on top of the mod, if you made like an injection cheat, you could easily do it. But luckily, it's not that big of an advantage, so it's not like the same as having ESP or X-ray.
It's still an
Yeah.
advantage.
It really is. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, but at the same time, because it's not as much of an advantage, it's much harder to catch because of that. So on your recording shot,
I'll send it in chat.
Yeah. So by the way, I'm like I have a lot of experience with this kind of stuff. I made anti-cheats before. I made the mod, which was supposed to prevent cheating. I was a semi-pro CS player, so I have a lot of like experience with people like aim locks and stuff. And so I'm Marco. I know the difference between human movement of a mouse and machine movement. And after watching your recordings, Matt pointed out some timestamps to me, and I was like, okay, this isn't human movement. This is clearly you're hitting key and it's moving your mouse for you. But obviously, that's just my opinion, and you can't blacklist someone off of the just opinions and such like that. So that's probably my personal opinion, and it's shared by others, by the way. But it's just stuff like that, like little miscellaneous stuff you do shot when you're still permanent. By the way, you're still permanently blacklisted throughout all of this. But when you ask to be unblacklisted, these little stuff that come up, it's not like it's like you 100% cheating or you, for example, DDoSing someone or something that major. It's just little small stuff you do that just keep tarnishing your reputation to the point where people don't even want to have to deal with you, just like me.
People think I'm suspicious.
Well, I know one reason Shot has been called fishy is because he used to have a, he told me about this, he used to have a timesheet of when to pre-fire from different spawns set up.
That was just the beginning of the round, but most of my pre-fires
Yeah.
are in the middle of the round, so that can't really be used as an explanation
No.
of the star.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, that wasn't really the situation. The problem was like the like at first Shot, like I had no idea like you were considered a cheater up until like I became the MSDL director in early 2016, where SCP started playing Evo, where you, Gummy, you know, those guys were on Evo roster at the time, and Elmo, so you do remember that. And then after playing against you, so like I said, people have their opinions. After playing against you, watching your POV, I was 100% sure you were cheating at the time. So, but at the same time, when we tried to screenshot you, like .mscl screenshot, or now the command is .bmp screenshot player, you just wouldn't be able to be screenshotted. Literally nothing would come up in chat. And without some form of like injection you did that prevents that from happening, it's just essentially it wasn't possible. So when you were screenshotted, you'd be like, wait a second. And then 3 minutes later, you're like, screenshot me now. So do you understand how that appears to like anyone else?
Like I understand that if that's the actual situation, then okay, yeah, that appears real bad, but I don't know what you're talking about with that, because that was a glitch that just seemed to happen with everyone. Like that happened now.
Never happened to anyone. Like if you understood how code worked, you'd understand my point of view here. So essentially, when you're using the mod, if your Minecraft is normal, not modded, not anything injected into it, when your client sees that command in chat .bmp screenshot player name, it'll just do everything by itself unless there's something external preventing it. So when people tried to screenshot you and nothing will come up in chat, meaning your client wasn't doing it, means something was interfering with it, that's something people think is some form of injection cheat, by the way, or some kind of client or whatever. And then what would happen is 3 minutes later, you're like, oh, okay, screenshot me now. Like you did something to change that. Like you turned off whatever was interfering with it. And then when you're screenshotted, naturally you were clean. So again, this is during your permanent blacklist, I think, Shot, or either when you were 6 months blacklisted. So like I said, it's just the stuff like this, the recording stuff, it's just stuff like that it's like, it's one of the reasons you're still permanently blacklisted. It's not definitive proof that you were cheating, but it's like borderline. And there's only so much people can accept of being like coincidence or just a bug, you know?
So let's go into what Shot said, calling you out on the MSPL Discord for stuff.
Oh, I want
whatever.
to say something about that beforehand, that wasn't necessarily stuff that you said for the most part. Most of it was just stuff that you agree with, not that you've actually said.
Oh, no, I understand, but I just want to go through it really quick. So, Vadim is a good player, found with extended blue lines. Shot, awful player with cheats, never found using cheats. By the way, when I thought Vadim was using extended blue lines, after like a week of having everyone tell me that he wasn't, by the way, I was biased in the situation because this was before screenshotting was a thing. So when it just came out and Vadim had like a super long blue line, I was like, oh my God, he's cheating. But then after people talking to me and after seeing different screenshots, I was like, okay, this isn't cheats. This is just like an FOV thing or like something like that. So this is right when I resigned, by the way, because I was fed up with all this. So I never actually thought he cheated. And again, Shot, awful player with cheats. I mean, you admitted to cheating before, and then a lot of people think you cheat because it can't be screenshotted, suspicious videos, stuff like that. So again, that's irrelevant. Next point, oh no, Memes is definitely raying. Hold on, let's invite him to SCP a day later. Shot applies for SCP. Was going to be denied due to suspected raying.
Well, can we go into that? Was Shot ever on SCP? I don't remember.
No, I applied with Gummy Guy.
Yeah, and then Gummy Guy made it, right?
Yeah, Gummy was accepted because honestly it was mainly off of stats and stuff like that. I accepted Gummy right away because I played him in a 1v1 and he was actually incredible. He was like one of the few people that came close to beating him. I was like, okay, let me give this guy a shot. And then I talked to Gummy about it, Shot, and this was before I knew anything about you, Shot. So from all I knew is that, okay, you're a pub star and you have great stats. So, but remember, like SCP.
I don't know about great stats.
No, your stats were really good. It was like 35k kills and like 15k deaths or something like that.
No, it's something like 20k.
Either way, like stats don't mean everything. It's mainly the kill count that matters to me, that shows experience. But like I said at the time, everyone knows that SCP is like an exclusive team. So I really deliberate. I really consider every single applicant. So after talking to Gummy, I was literally like a hair away from accepting you, or at least trialing you. But then everyone PM'd me saying like you're toxic and stuff. And then at the same time, one of our retired players came back. She was like, okay, well, might as well at least leave it, and then maybe in the future, if he wants to rejoin, maybe we'd consider him then.
Well, wait, so you accepted Gummy Guy because he had good stats, but then Shot
and
had...
he did incredible with me in a 1v1. But then Shot at the same time, his stats were slightly worse. He was also kicked from teams like Display and stuff, and that was like a big indicator to me because SCP is more so than anything a group of friends star. And when we tried out Gummy, we all had a good time playing with him. He made us laugh, we made him laugh, so that was important. And I just never got around to trying Shot because of what, like, some of the miscellaneous things people like RJ or something like that, or Jesus Man told me about him. And I'm not one to judge until I know someone personally, but we just didn't need another player at the time after I accepted Gummy, because SCP has always been like a small team. And then
whether we remember that even or not, but I was like, after I was talking with Gummy for a while, like if this is like, we'd have to pull up like Skype PMs, which that's just a long ass time ago. If you remember, even that's if we haven't even unadded each other on Skype. But I don't even have it on my computer anymore because you know what happened with that, it got cleared.
Yeah.
The basically, if you remember, that still like Gummy wanted to be on SCP more, so I ended up, even though I wasn't gonna make it anyway, whether that matters or not, I was basically like, I stepped away from it regardless, even though you were gonna deny me.
Oh no, I know what you mean. You were like, okay, if you're not gonna accept me, accept Gummy, please, because he really wants to be on it. So I was like, okay, maybe if he wants his friend to be there, and if we only have like room for one person, then sure, why not? I actually thought that was really nice of you, by the way. But and this was like before we had any issues or I knew like any potential cheating or toxicity or whatever. So I was like, okay, he's just a player. He wants his friend to be an SCP rather than him. So I'm like, okay. So Gummy made it to SCP and Shot was at least denied for the time. Then regarding the Memez definitely raying thing, when we said Memez quote unquote cheated, we just call sound boosting cheating. We never thought he raid. There's like a difference between that. Also, we never invited him to SCP. We were looking for an offer, and we considered Memez because I think he was on Charisma. No, sorry, he just joined Evo. But then we found Balt, and Balt just destroying us in scrim. So we invited Balt instead. We considered Memez. I talked with Brady about inviting Memez, but we ended up deciding with Balt instead because Memez, we also kind of don't like his personality too much. But yeah, so like the SCP recruitment thing, that's not really your place to talk about because you're never really part of it. So it's not fair for you to say something that I did, but you don't even know what I did. So that second point was a little silly, at least in my opinion. Regarding your ban from the mod, that was because like the whole like not being able to screenshot you thing. By the way, the mod's a service shot. Like it's not a privilege people have. As long as you're respectful to the developers, you don't have to say thank you all the time, but as long as you're not like constantly like insulting them, or if you're not abusing the mod somehow or something like that. Like for example, Crick, he had an injection cheat over the mod, and we have no tolerance for cheating, so we banned him from the mod too, and then we unbanned him.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so then we banned you for the same suspicions using injection cheats because you couldn't be screenshotted. So that's the ban from the mod. Which, by the way, I don't even think you were banned. Like I think we tried to, but there was like a bug or something, so you didn't even end up being banned. I'm not sure what happened.
I'm still banned from the mod.
No, Shot's banned.
Really?
From the mod.
Really?
I'm 100% banned.
So no, it was actually a semi-bug, so you can't use the IRC features, but you can still run the mod. And when we tried to ban people, we wanted to make it so they couldn't run the mod. But anyways.
Yeah.
So wait.
So yeah.
I thought, Shot, you were never caught with cheats, right? So why is he banned from BMP if he never used an injection client?
They think that I was blocking screenshots with an injection client because when they type the command in chat, which should roll directly through the client and automatically output a screenshot, it wasn't doing that for me. But the thing is, like, I personally disagree with that because that had happened to me before when I screenshot other people. It just wouldn't work. So
see, but that's your word, and you could just be saying that to cover up for yourself.
Where's your proof on that?
Yeah.
I'm the developer of the mod. I understand how the code works. I know how Minecraft code works, and I'm telling you, by the way, I work for Fortune 30 companies, so I understand my programming knowledge. When I tell you it is impossible without intentional interference for a screenshot not to occur. If the player is in the server, if the player is playing with a normal ping, like you, or maybe if they were like lagging out, then it wouldn't happen, but you were perfectly fine. There's no way without
Furlough
Sorry?
said that if there was spam with it or something, I forget exactly what he said. I can try and find it, but I have a lot of PMs with him. Like something about like spam with it or people like inputting it too many times, then it could.
Yeah. So if you spam a screenshot, like for example, like 10 times in chat or something like that, or in the IRC, then it might not go through sometimes because the sheer number of requests. But that never happened. That wasn't the situation, dude. They'd put it in once in chat, and it wouldn't happen. They'd try like 2 minutes later, same situation. I'm not saying you're cheating or you were doing it, but I'm just saying that from a programmer's perspective, as the guy who, alongside Furlough, made this mod without intentional interference, there's just no way for this to be possible.
I agree. That's real weird.
Yeah, so you can understand the mod ban at least. By the way, if you're ever unblacklisted, then we'd unban you from the mod so you could play. Keep in consideration that the mod is for the community. And if the community decided to blacklist you, not me, because I'm telling you, it was FOD that blacklisted you the first time in a deal that made it permanent. So if they decide to unblacklist you, then yeah, we'll unban you from the mod. The mod was just because you could still potentially be cheating in casuals, and we didn't want the mod to be associated with that. So, like I said, if you want to be unbanned from the mod, you have to take it up with the community, like managers, directors, stuff like that. So regarding the next point in your message in MSPL chat.
Wait, so hold on, I'm just going to quickly cut you off. So you're saying that there is a chance that Shot can be unblacklisted? Maybe if he worked his way up.
So everyone has a chance. Like I said, at one point, everyone hated me. Because, well, not hated, but they all had no respect for me because they thought I cheated because I was caught using Metro and Dom. And the way I earned that trust back and got people, I mean, heck, I got everyone to leave the MSCL and join the DPL, which was by no means an easy thing to do. And the way and this is like 6 months after I was quote unquote exposed or whatever for being a cheater. The way I did that was recording myself. I was nice to others. I wasn't being toxic or anything. I was doing really cool things for the community. I'm the one that started the whole concept of getting game stats. And then me and Furlough, we made the first build of the mod. People love that. I made the website. So it's the stuff I did which got people to give me a second chance. And I earned that second chance and I used it well. So you can do the same thing, Shot. You don't necessarily have to do everything I did. I just did that because I thought it was fun. And it was also an interesting way to help the community. But like stuff you could do is to get on blacklisted, I don't know, start by apologizing to people that have something against you. Maybe do something for the community. I don't know. That's not for me to decide.
See, I'm not great with computers or coding or anything, so I don't know what I would even be able to do from that standpoint.
But some people don't believe that because of you potentially, not definitely, having used injection cheats. But it doesn't have to be coding. It could be anything. I don't know. Like Starfish, for example, he makes videos like this, stuff like that. So again, that's not up to me to decide. You'd have to talk to a deal or something about that. Maybe this video will help you with that. Who knows? But do you have any more questions about that Starfish before I?
No, I think it was all covered.
Okay, so next one is unblacklist the injection. Okay, this is just about Matt, and we talked about him.
Yeah, we talked about Matt.
Yeah, so no one really needs to talk about that. SDP lost. Hold on, which one was cheating? Oh, they were all legit. We threw. So I don't know if SDP still has that reputation of being hackuzators, but up until screenshotting was a thing, we would call out people that we believed to be cheating for cheating, obviously. And we weren't salty about it. Like, even if we still, like, Shot, you know that SDP tends to win most of the maps we play.
Well,
we would still call out people that we were cheating because, so it wasn't like salt, like, oh, we lost because you were cheating. It was like, no, we won, but we think you were cheating. And yeah, we didn't say it like that because it's Minecraft. You're not going to be polite all the time. But, so, and yeah, and if SDP did lose, we didn't throw. Yeah, we'd be frustrated about losing, but we understand it's because the other team played better. Like Cadence the other day, after chat, we weren't being toxic to them. Like this was yesterday, I think. They took a map on us. They nearly won the series in the tourney.
You guys almost lost to Cadence.
Yeah, we dropped a map to Cadence. I mean, Jason wasn't there, but our teamwork was terrible. Either way, Cadence is actually a pretty good team now. They've been kind of destroying Evo.
I mean, as long as Hyde's not playing, then.
Yeah, Hyde wasn't playing. But,
all right, sense.
So yeah, so they took a map against us, which isn't easy. So Dando had a really big impact on that team, and I really like to see where they go from there on. But anyways, so again, Yeah, yeah, maybe he's a co-leader or something. But so again, similar to what I said before, it's not really fair for you to say something about SCP when it's just an assumption and you don't know what really went on. Anything that I ever say about you, it's something I'm involved in. I never say stuff about people unless I'm fully aware of the situation. So that's just something you might want to keep in mind for the future, at least to avoid triggering people or something like that.
Yeah, I like you understand like you saying that I like don't have a relationship or anything with SCP, and I really don't, of course, but like whenever like ever since Gummy got into SCP, I've talked with him more than anyone else, but then with Bunny, Brady, like mostly those three from SCP, but really just like I've talked with people from SCP, like I've like really just played casuals against them because I never played in a casual with you guys.
Yeah.
Because well, I way most of you think I'm cheating anyways. With that, and then toxicity, everything else that has to do with it, just there was no chance of that ever happening, which I eventually got over it. But saying that I don't have a relationship with SCP regardless, I I understand your thought on that, but like I have a relationship with some of the top players of the team, and they talk to me about a lot of things that are going on. So I felt at least somewhat that I had some sort of link to it, but nothing enough to make a claim like that, like you're saying.
Yeah. So I understand what you mean. I didn't say that you didn't have a relationship. I knew you were best friends with Gummy and that he told you everything. But by the way, regarding Brady and Bunny, I don't know if you really consider that like a super close relationship because
Just Bunny,
I think
not
Bunny
Brady.
talked to you. So yeah, Brady I understand, but Bunny I'm not 100% sure. I think it was because Bunny was really close with Gummy and you were really close with Gummy. It was kind of like a friendship triangle.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I'm not saying you never had a relationship with some SCP players. I'm just saying you were never part of the team directly, and the team is a group of friends above all else. And I'm just saying that it's not fair for you to say something when you weren't directly involved. So
That's fair
not
to say.
that you were never friends with people. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I'm just at least giving my thoughts just off of reading your message. So next one, call people who tell
That one I don't really care about. That was just me ranting off.
I'm just curious to see. I'm curious to see it anyways. Nah, shots talking trash about them is toxic. Oh shoot, he's talking about it in the MSPL chat. Blah blah blah. By the way, I wasn't even aware that you were banned from the website forum, so I don't know why you called this Anthony Logic.
Jack was the one who suggested it. Jack was the one who suggested that I be banned from the forum, so I had no chance to make a blacklist appeal.
Okay.
So there was that, and then I don't actually even know why I put this one in there. This would have been on the MSPL rant one. Stay tuned.
So basically, a lot of your points, it's not like you're attacking me or anything, but it's just stuff that I didn't have anything to do with. Yeah, I personally think you used to cheat fairly often, and there's evidence to support it, but there's also evidence to say that you didn't cheat. And I never did anything solely off of my opinion. I'm not the kind of guy to do that. If that was the case, I would just ban anyone I didn't like from the mod. We've only banned like I think 3 people in total ever, at least intentionally. You get banned from IRC for spamming sometimes. But so yeah, I don't necessarily like you as a person because you kind of creep me out. Like your profile picture is me, your texture pack is just my face on every single block. So, and it's like the stuff you say like this, it makes me feel like you're obsessed with me. Like you keep thinking about me all the time, which is a little weird, but I'm like, okay, I mean, he can do what he wants. It's a free country. Amen, USA. But so yeah, maybe I don't like you individually, or maybe I thought you cheated shot, but I'm not the one who blacklisted you. I'm not the one who banned you from the website to prevent you from appealing. I'm just...
That's just me. Like, that's not really... The situation really isn't any more me versus you, I guess, which it never should have been, never has been.
Why are you
really
tagging me and calling me out for all that stuff? And a lot of it's not even relevant to you.
You support most of those.
Yeah, but who cares what I think? I'm just...
Most of the community seems to.
Yeah, Anthony, do you think you have anything to do with, like, there's a common thing going around now where just people think Shot's a Ray or a cheater. Like, do you think you have anything to do with that being, like, so common with people?
I think definitely. I think, I hope it doesn't sound arrogant or, like, make it seem like I have an ego or anything, but I think that SCP's, at least some of the things we do or say is kind of trend-setting. So if we called out... Yeah, so if we called out Shot for cheating, then it probably caught on or something like that. So I think we did have something to do with it, but it wasn't like we're trying to ruin his reputation. We were, or at least we believe, some of us still believe. I don't really play anymore, so I'm not sure. But they believe that you were cheating, and whether or not that was true, SCP isn't the kind of team to be really passive about their beliefs. So when they say it publicly and you don't really do anything to help your situation, you're just kind of like toxic in return. It didn't really help your case. So I think, by the way, I'm not sure like within like the lower tier of MS, like the newer players, what they think. I just know that a lot of the upper tier players, like within Awakening, Evolved, Final Spark, NGA, they kind of share the same beliefs as us. Not just because we said it, but because they've also played against you. So yes, I think we had.
I mean,
some part to
everyone's
do with
always
it.
thought it. A lot of people have always thought I cheated. It just started from the Evo display scrim, like when I was literally my first casual ever against like display when they had like Elmo and like when RJ was actually good, 2015. Oh man.
Yeah.
But that
RJ.
like I just played insane against them in my first scrim. Like I felt really good about it, but I wasn't gonna let anyone know that I actually just played out of my mind there. But that was the only reason I ever got into Evo with like 200, someone with like 200 wins that just like destroyed display when they were a good team. Like everyone after that must have at least thought I cheated, but no one publicly admitted it until SCP started.
See, but the thing was, at the time there was no screenshotting and there was no mod, so cheating. Everyone knows that cheating was rampant back then. I could name like 20 players that I consider to be good players now that I think used to cheat. Like, I don't know, for example, Dudes, I'm pretty sure he used to cheat, or even Elmo or Brady, players like that. Chubbs 100%, Electro 100%. By the way, Shot, I've kicked everyone who I thought cheated from SCP.
Yeah, I do.
When I was sure about it. So yeah, so I'm not exactly pro cheating or anything. That's why I'm not exactly the most polite person when it comes to people that I think cheat or when they're talking about.
Also, I don't necessarily hate you or dislike you like that much as I used to before. It's really just that like I dislike some of the things that you agree on, like some of the opinions that you agree with.
I get what you mean, and I could say the same thing about you and others. I'm a really vocal person about what I believe, sorry, and so yeah, it's I don't really know what to say, man. Is there anything else, Star?
I think we covered it all. That was really good. Anyway, guys, you heard both sides of the story. Maybe some things that you've never heard before. Yeah, that was good. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to check out Shot's channel, which I'll link in the description. Anthony, I don't know if you have a channel or anything. Okay, I guess I won't link Shot's channel. Anyway, so yeah, subscribe, leave a like, whatever, because that was good. Alright. Yeah, thank you guys for doing that.